for the virtual Sunday Feast program for Dublin Christian Temple. Mine is the Sunday Feast part of the program. Thank you for tuning in. There's many other classes and seminars and Kirtans going on at the moment, so thank you for tuning into this one. It's a little bit strange because we're joining you virtually from very, very sunny Fermanagh. And today we're going to be discussing the topic of what is the world's greatest enemy. It's quite a dramatic title, The World's Greatest Enemy. So it's a little bit strange doing everything virtually, but thank you for tuning in and let's do it. So we're talking, as I said, about the world's greatest enemy and what that might be and how it affects us in our day-to-day lives. We're reading today from Bhagavad Gita, as it is. Bhagavad Gita is a song of God. It was spoken on the battlefield of Kurukshetra 5,000 years ago between Krishna and Arjuna. Arjuna is in the position where he's on this battlefield, he's surrounded by his friends and his family, and he's become quite fearful because he's on a battlefield. He knows what's going to happen next. Battles usually only end one way, with death. And he's seeing his friends and his family, and he puts down his bow and he says, I can't fight. And the Bhagavad Gita is basically the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, where Krishna has taken the role of guru and Arjuna has taken the role of disciple. So as well as being friends, this is the role that's been taken, and Krishna is instructing Arjuna. So if you're new to Dublin Christian Temple and you don't have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, get in touch and I'm sure that they can arrange or tell you how to acquire one. It's an amazing book because it's Krishna's actual words, and it's the actual, it's a song of God, it's Krishna's actual words. And this particular copy, Bhagavad Gita as it is, by Srila Prabhupada, it's Bhagavad Gita as it is. There's no mental speculation there. There's other copies of the Bhagavad Gita where maybe they portray Krishna as being impersonal, and that's not the case. This is a personal conversation that's been taking place between Krishna and Arjuna. So Srila Prabhupada, he is the founder of Acharya. Acharya means basically leader. He's the founder of our Hare Krishna movement. So if you're having any difficulties in your life, which is quite common at the moment, we're in a situation where there's a pandemic and people are looking for guidance and spiritual guidance, and they might be in a place in their life where they're needing a bit of instruction or they're needing a little bit of light. Definitely then, if you're in that position, you don't have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, please get in touch and we will organise that for you. And if you have a copy of the Bhagavad Gita, this is the perfect time to make sure that you're reading at least one verse a day. So this particular chapter that we're looking at is chapter 3, Karma Yoga. And we're looking at a very key verse from chapter 3, 337. So yoga literally means to unite or to link or to connect with God. And karma refers to the action of basically performing activities for the mind and the senses and for the body. So when we go to work, if we're not doing it for a higher purpose, basically, that's karma. When we're eating, when we're watching TV, anything that we're doing that is for the senses or for the body, that is karma yoga. So all the mundane things, and what we're looking to do is stop doing karma yoga and transform that to bhakti yoga, where we're working to please God. Basically, we're working out of love of God. So as I said, we're reading from chapter 3, 37. So I'm going to read the Sanskrit part of it, and then I'm going to read the translation and then the purport, and then we'll have a little bit of we'll dissect the purport a little bit and have a little bit of a discussion about what's going on and what the world's greatest enemy is. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Sanskrit is Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajo Guna Samudbhava Mahasano Mahapadma Vijayinam Ivarinam. Translation: The Supreme Personality of God had said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of the world. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When a living entity comes into contact with the material creation, his eternal love for Krishna is transformed into lust in association with the mode of passion. Or in other words, the sense of love of God becomes transformed into lust as milk in contact with sour tamarind is transformed into yogurt. Then again, when lust is unsatisfied, it turns into wrath. Wrath is transformed into illusion, and illusion continues the material existence. Therefore, lust is the greatest enemy of the living entity, and it is lust only which induces the pure living entity to remain entangled in the material world. Wrath is the manifestation of the mode of ignorance. These modes exhibit themselves as wrath and other corollaries. If, therefore, the mode of passion, instead of being degraded to the mode of ignorance, is elevated to the mode of goodness by the prescribed method of living and acting, then one can be saved from the degradation of wrath by spiritual attachment. The Supreme Personality of Godhead expanded himself into many for his ever-increasing spiritual bliss, and the living entities are parts and parcel of this spiritual bliss. They also have partial independence, but by misuse of their independence, when the service attitude is transformed into propensity for sense enjoyment, they come under the sway of lust. This material creation is created by the Lord to give facility to the conditioned souls to fulfill these lustful propensities. And when completely baffled by prolonged lustful activities, the living entity begins to inquire about their real position. This inquiry is the beginning of the Vedanta Sutras, wherein it is said, Atato Brahma Jidnasya. One should inquire unto the Supreme. And the Supreme is defined in the Srimad Bhagavatam as Yamadi Yasya Yato Nirvadya Iti Tarascha, or the origin of everything is the Supreme Brahman. Therefore, the origin of lust is also in the Supreme. If therefore lust is transformed into love for the Supreme, or transformed into Krishna consciousness, or in other words, desiring everything for Krishna, then both lust and wrath can be spiritualized. Hanuman, the greatest servitor of Lord Rama, exhibited this wrath by burning the golden city of Ravana, but by doing so he became the greatest devotee of the Lord. So